It is an honour to be here. I'm the oldest of the four daughters of Captain TJ Jim Collins, who was in command of Flight TE901 on the 28th of November 1979. Dad died along with 256 other people in the early afternoon that day on a sightseeing flight over the Antarctic region of McMurdo Sound. As you know, the aircraft struck Mount Erebus. Our mother Maria, who is unable to be here today, sends her warm greetings to you all. I was 15 years old at the time of the crash, and my sisters who are here with us today, Elizabeth, who was 14 years old, Philippa, then 9, and Adrian, who was 6, are here with me too, which is a great privilege for me. We are here to present the Jim Collins Memorial Award for Aviation Safety to a highly esteemed member of our community who has made a significant contribution to aviation safety. And as you are most likely aware, the crash on Mount Erebus devastated New Zealand and sent shockwaves through the national and international aviation fraternity. The DC-10 was regarded as a highly sophisticated aircraft, and Dad told us what a pleasure it was to fly. Dad loved flying. He was thrilled to have been selected as a senior pilot to fly to the Antarctic. The night before the flight, he spent time explaining his proposed route to my sister Elizabeth and I, and we soon realised we were in for a lecture when he pulled out a large chart which covered the dining room table. I asked whether he was going to land in the Antarctic, as we were interested in that, and he said no, as the ice runway at Williamsfield could not take the weight of a DC-10 and it was impossible to land on the ice. He said he was looking forward to seeing the dry valleys down the coast of Victorialand. He was well organised and methodical in his preparation for flights, and he understood and expressed to us the importance of the parameters of the tasks that lay in front of him, including the relationships of cause and effect, action and reaction, the importance of good communication, and the well-being of his passengers and crew. When Dad died at the age of 45, we were of course deeply shocked and sad. He was a person of great integrity and honesty, a no-nonsense, straight-thinking man, a man of intellect and enormous depth, and a man of vitality and sense of humour, and in particular a man of devotion and dedication to his family. Over time we've learned how to continue with life while carrying that deep sadness and profound sense of loss which his untimely death brought us. After the crash, at first the finger of blame was pointed at the pilots. This was expounded in the newspapers and discussed on TV, yet there was no credible explanation available as to why TE901 had crashed. There was scant regard for the reputations and many hours of flying experience of the pilots. In 1980, 6 months after the crash, Justice Peter Mann was appointed by the New Zealand Government to head the Royal Commission of Inquiry into the causes of the accident. Justice Mann's intelligence and insight into the case resulted in a report which broke new ground in the analysis and methods of air accident investigation. He overturned the immediate post-crash verdict of pilot error and instead painstakingly exposed the complicated series of events which led to the crash. This included his views on the evidence presented by those with vested interests in an outcome of pilot culpability. This integrated approach is now used in universities and aviation schools worldwide for teaching purposes. Justice Mann summed up the situation in his book, Verdict on Erebus, by writing, and I quote, "The ultimate key to the tragedy lay here in the white silence of Lewis Bay, the place to which the airliner had been unerringly guided by its microelectronic navigational system, only to be destroyed in clear air and without warning by a malevolent trick of the polar light." For all IFALPA members and pilots internationally, Justice Mann's work stands as a testimony to the truth. The revelation of that truth took his time, tenacity, dedication, and sadly came at great personal cost. He died in 1986. Today we recognise and honour Justice Peter Mann. We pay tribute to him and to the incredible contribution he has made towards aviation safety worldwide. We remember those who died on Mount Erebus and how both Justice Peter Mann and Gordon Vetty, with his investigation into visual sector whiteout, gave dignity to the professional reputations of the dead pilots of Flight 901. We remember Jim Collins, who loved aviation and whose name this award bears. It is our great honour to present the 2009 Jim Collins Memorial Award for Aviation Safety to Mrs. Margarita Mann and Janet Mann, receiving it on behalf of their late husband and father. Margarita, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Peter's two sons, Sam and Tim, who are unable to be here, wish to join their sister Janet and myself in saying to you how very much we appreciate your acknowledgement of the Commissioner's assiduous work within the Erebus inquiry and the caring thoughts which come with the award. Peter's decision to look into systems leading up to a happening has been applauded and applied worldwide, not only in the business of accidents, but wherever there is some form of failure. Hopefully, this form of reasoning will continue to make a difference for all those involved. Thank you very much.
Today is a very special day, but it's marked as an even more special day because, and I've got Margarita's permission to tell you this, it's Margarita's 81st birthday today.
I'd like to say that I'm 21 today and have the key of the door. Well, I do have the key of the door, but at 81, I don't think there's any interest anymore.